your land.
You're calling me a nerd, Riot? You're the one that got first. You're the nerd. We're all a bunch of nerds, though nothing is new here. But hi, welcome. How is everyone today? I'm not on time, but I mean, we're still here. I honestly was just extremely distracted. That's fine. Who needs to know what they're doing anyways? As someone who literally was at your desk on your shit, fucking nerd. Hey. We're all a bunch of nerds, and that's all that matters, because we nerd out together. I'm just ready to not deal with anything after yesterday. Also, right, I don't know if you checked, we do have a couple of new people in a chat. Because I'm, yeah, not dealing with people today, so I'm not dealing with people from yesterday either, so but welcome. We are doing some more Cult of the Lamb. And I am very excited because fuck yeah, Cult of the Lamb. Dude, I love this game so much. Ben's still mad at me. We're gonna have to fix that. We're also gonna have to like detangle. But yeah, no, we gotta get a jail. We gotta get Ben in jail. Which is, oh yeah, I forgot that this game had sound. Let me get rid of this, because Cult of the Lamb actually has audio sounds. Help? What's the help? I think everything's set up, right? Yeah, everything's up. Do we have what we need for the prison yet? No, we need 25 a log. How much log do we have? Can I check that? I have 5 logs, fuck. Ben's gonna still yell at people. Where is Ben? You... What is your issue? I re-educate you. Calm your biddies. Ben, I don't know why you became so angry with us, but yet you did. Are we still fasting? No, we're not still fasting. I kind of forget where we're at with this. Got one of them yesterday. Ah, right on. Also, I'm shopping for a new mic. I personally use the Yeti Streamcaster. It does pick up a lot, like, it's an extra sensitive microphone, but it's not as bad as everyone, like, likes to say that it is. I personally really enjoy this mic, and Gavin uses the same one. Like, if we're yelling, we can hear each other from the other room, but at the same time, we have doors that we can close. I also really want to look into, like, the HyperX, though. The glowing one, because first off, it glows. I like the idea of it glowing. I want to get some medicine in here, too. We need logs, though. Oh, no. I have to make a new log thing. Fuck. I'm not ready for it. Do we have what we need for that? No, we don't even have enough for it. Are there any trees around? Yes, there are. Okay, I'm gonna manually... Actually, Shadow. Shadow, go chop us some trees. Also, Ben's still angry. Hold up, buddy. Hey, buddy. Hey, buddy. Hey, buddy. Riot. Who said you could... Who said you could, not like us? Inspire. Let's inspire Riot. Hey, no, come on, guys. Let's inspire you two. Get inspired and don't listen to whatever Ben has to say. Can we hold a sermon? I feel like that would help us. That would help us. Okay. Hold a sermon. Ben, why do you hate me? What's up, Cookie? How are you doing today? We're doing good, Darkness. How are you today? Get me in jail for what? I just got here. Dude, you've been protesting. You're like, I hate the call. I hate it here. And I'm like, but Ben, please don't. You're not happy. Worship. Work and worship. You guys will love me. What do we got? Perform ritual or temple that will immediately build all your structures, but people like building. Increased devotion? I'm about increased devotion. That's something we're struggling with. I love you, Cookie. I've never hate you. Your little dude's so mad at me. I love your shirt. Thank you. Thank you. Oh my gosh. Okay, so my shirt is the Evolutions, but it really bothers me because, like, they have Leafeon and Jolteon over here, right? But, like, Jolteon and Leafeon are both yellow. They could have made Leafeon green and, like, you know, had it all divided, but they kept all the yellow. But other than that, I love it. But also, I don't know if you've noticed that oh wait, no, Sylveon is on here. I don't remember Sylveon being on this shirt. But yeah, no, they could have, like, made it yellow, and it bothers me. But other than that, I love the shirt. I want to get more nerd shirts. Like, a lot of my stuff is just, like, super basic from high school when I wasn't, like, super, like, yeah, nerd. But, yeah. Give us a better food. Then I have not fed you guys poop or grass. I have not fed you guys poop or grass. I've been giving you the best food. Increased devotion decreases my life. No! No, 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 no. Leafeon should have been green. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. What are we doing? Ritual? Okay. Okay, I didn't want to necessarily do a ritual. If I do, I want to bring someone back. Do I have enough for it yet? Oh no, that's ascending. I want to resurrect someone here soon because we have another person that died and I don't like that people are dying. Yeah, you guys see, oh wait, are you slightly less angry at me now? No, you're still very angry. Ben, I wish I knew what to make you happy. Why are you guys mad? Don't be mad. Gun. Oh, don't be mad at me, please. I would like very much peace. Don't want to throw Ben in jail, but he's making everyone angry and I don't know what to do to not make him angry. I'm gonna throw you in jail, Ben. We're gonna re-educate you. Hopefully you don't, like, continue to scream at people, because that's really our biggest issue, is Ben screaming at people. Hey, Cookie, what mic do you have in? I have the, Blue Yeti. The stream one. I have it linked in the bios down below. Like, I have, like, hyperlinks to my microphone and keyboard and all that fun things. So direct link is down below, but it's like the Blue Yeti Streamcaster or something like that.
All you people in the house, get up and scream and shout. Say hey, hey, hey.
Hey, Athens.
Hey, hey, hey.
What if people die but I still alive? I don't know, because you were like the first person in. You're just like immortal, I guess. But now you're on your final wit's end and are trying to cause chaos, and it's not fun. But appreciate you, Lurk Ben. I will try to make you happy. No, because like we've had like 2 other people die for Twitch people already. So I'm just trying to resurrect those guys. Were you mad because the bathroom was full? I'm sorry. Ben, I really don't know what to do to make you happier. Like, we have enough beds for everyone. We have... Why are y'all mad? Don't want you to be mad. I want you to be glad. Hey, hey, Ben. What was that about? I just got stuff from you even though you're mad? Homie. Can I, like, give you better food? Everything's so loud. Make some food just in case anyone is happy. Oh, I didn't actually make it. Cook. Hey guys, I got food. Yeah, see, Ben. Ben, shush your face. Go eat some food. Will that make you happier? You look happy while you're eating. Oh, someone's sick. Who's sick? Who's sick? Wait, who just got sick? I don't know who just got sick, and I really need to know. Someone do that. Sick. Wait, literally. I can't have you getting other people sick. Ben, are you sick? What's on your mind? Are you just mad because we sacrificed somebody? Oh, there you are. You need to go bed rest. Actually, I can put you in here. Never mind. I forgot that we had a speed heal. In my old stage of yelling at people. I mean, I feel that. I might be someone who's... Athens. Athens? Are you one of the dead people? You might be one of the dead people that I'm trying to revive. Shadow. Patty. Patty's not a real person. Yeah, I think you're one of the dead ones. But I'm trying to work on reviving you. But I'm also trying to make Ben not hate me. Which is, failing altogether. I just want Ben to like me again. Ooh, what if we just need to build more decorations? Would Ben be less mad at us if we had more decor going? Maybe like another fountain over here? Do a fountain by like the wellness center? Just, I don't know. I don't know. Y'all are just angry. Can I? Thank you. We got that guy. We got... Can I do more food plots? No, not yet at least. Need 25 wood for that, which we might have to dungeon crawl for. We have enough beds. We have enough... Did I make the fertilizer thing? I did not make the fertilizer thing. What do I need for that? Of course I need the fancy wood for that. Any other decors? Decor. Do like a lamp there, lamp there, lamp here, lamp there, lamp everywhere. Okay, so there's some more decorations. I don't know, I just want Ben to not be mad. That's really my main goal right now, is to make Ben not mad. Your thing going up? Can you not? Okay. Are you yelling at someone in their house? Don't do that. Can I even send him to jail? I don't know. But it's about to be nighttime, so... No, why are you sick again? Why are you sick again? It says you're not sick, but it very much says that you are sick. Why you're sick. I don't want to wait till morning though, so I'm gonna go ahead and head off so we can potentially find the things that we need to find. That one's already done. We'll go in here. New mic order. Let's go, Riot. Let's go. No, so we're working on reviving Athens. We're working on making Ben not hate us anymore. It's kind of an all-around struggle. I also need to be able to revive someone, which might make Ben hate us even more. I don't know. I just need to get some things going. I'll have it Wednesday. Ooh, that's the day that I'll have my new hair dye. Because I ordered a different brand of hair dye this round, hoping that it will last a little longer. Holy cow, what did I just do? Something just died because of me. I think I need to turn my headset volume down. Please, frog, die. Thank you. Oh, that hurt. Or almost hurt. I'm confused. Frog over here, though. What's up, frog? Can I hit you? Hitting you would be, you know, great. We also need to get all the bones that we can. Ooh, lots of muns. Okay. Also, pause right quick. I don't know why that's so loud in my ears. New hair dye already? Yeah, I mean, look at it's super faded. Like, it looks a lot more blue on camera. But, like, if I... No, I guess that doesn't help either. I don't know. It's hard to see. Like, TikTok can see that it's not that blue. It's kind of like a blue blonde color right now. Which isn't bad, but, like, I'm also trying to make some spice content. I don't want to make spice content with my hair, like, 5 different tones of color. Like, it's, like, blue underneath. You can see how much it faded if I do that. It's just really faded. Like, the underneath holds a lot, but my top doesn't hold anything. It's like borderline blonde, which, like, I'm cool with blonde, but not like the blue blonde. If I was dyeing it purple, it was like the icy cool purpley blonde, I'd be about it. But I'm trying a new hair dye brand because I've been trying to get with Manic Panic and they haven't noticed me recently and it makes me sad. So I'm gonna try another brand, which, like, Blend says lasts a little longer, and, like, judging by, like, how I normally see Blend's hair, Blend the Rainbow, by the way. That, like, it looks like it lasts longer in her hair, so I'm gonna try that. I think probably here in a few months I'm gonna switch up to purple again for a minute because I'll have a cruise coming up in November and purple lasts longer than blue does, so yay. You also see my username change tonight, which should also build some hype to return. Let's go, Riot. Hair's still cute though. Thanks. I really need to get it touched up. Like, my roots are getting bad, but that's like $130 every time I go and get my roots touched up. Like, it's just I'm thinking, ooh, actually, I'm gonna share something else with you. I've been thinking about doing something else entirely different with it. So, like, you know the part that you guys normally see, like, this little part that I pull forward, it's just kind of, like, parted at my ears is how I normally do it. I just pull all of that forward. Same with on this side. I'm thinking about, like, keeping that blue and light and then turning... Ow, sorry, my piercing's getting in the way. I'm thinking about taking this part and dyeing it black. So then, like, I just have less hair to upkeep and dye, because then if it's up here, I could probably, like, learn how to do my own bleach since it's not, like, all over my hair. I do end up doing the same way that way, just taking that, keeping that blue, and then turning all of this black. I think it would, like, pop a little more, and it would be easier maintenance. I'm considering doing it, but I don't know. I feel like that'd look better with my hair longer again, but at the same time, it's starting to grow. I don't know. My hair grows very slow. Hold on. Let me readjust my lights and everything, Ben. So TikTok, you can see that it's like, I don't know, it's like more of like a gray than the blue. Like, Twitch keeps it a little more bluer than it is, but TikTok you can see a little more of the fade. Especially on the ends there, like, that's like a yellow color. And, like, honestly, that yellow color is what gets me. If it, like, stayed on, like, an icy tone or something, then I'd be a little more about it, but I don't know. Yeah, I see it now. Yeah. No, like, my lighting for how I set up my Twitch streams, I'm like, it keeps my blue looking a little fresher. But yeah, no, in reality, it's a little more like yellowed and faded. So I'm getting there. I have new dye ordered. I'm excited to try it. It's a whole new brand. I'm mixing 2 other colors too, because they don't have like a color that just sits as well like my other one did. Because like Manic, I liked just one of the colors they had. This one, like everything was either too dark or too green for... Oh, fucking bees! Everything was just like a little too dark or a little too green. And I definitely don't like the green fade. Holy bees! Holy bees! Bees! Holy cow, okay. This part of this dungeon hurts. I just need to get to a point where I can potentially get some more wood or something, though. I got mushroom pieces by smacking that. Well, those are really cool and all. I need... not food. Food is actually something I'm good on at the moment. Draw my card. 2 hearts. Weapon damage increased by 1. Nope. 2 hearts. Won't get it back, but I'm already down 2 hearts, so... a little afraid. Because I'm also not warmed up yet to Cult of the Lamb. Get that guy out of the way. Yes, please go haunt someone. Oh, that's a big bee. Big bees are scary. Nothing else too interesting here. Let's go. I gave this stream a like. Hope it helped my friend. Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, no, any kind of liking on like TikTok Live definitely helps it get pushed out to more people. The more people it gets pushed out to, the more friends we have to stream with. So any kind of liking, commenting, and or sharing is appreciated. God damn it. Why is it only stone? That's like 2 shops over there. That's a person shop. That's a food shop. I mean, I guess I'll go this way. Was really hoping we'd get wood. But it's going for stone. Hopefully by the time we get back, we'll have enough to make the prison. And hopefully just another wood crafting station. Like, I need to have multiple of those going. Please smack. Thank you. Get all the bones so we can revive someone when we get back. Oh, bee! I believe. Believe it. Neurotoxic smack. Smack the bones while I'm over here. Just screw that dude. Oh, I'm surprised I just did not die there. Oh, wait, do I gotta go? I gotta go right. I'm already halfway into day 30. I wish the days paused while you were in the dungeon. That might be why they're mad at me, because I've been, like, heavy dungeon crawling. But also, I've been heavy dungeon crawling so I could do things. Alright, let's go, I guess, down. Nope. I always make the wrong decision! Okay, I don't like how many hearts it's giving me. That's mildly concerning. The amount of hearts is a bit scary. Oh, wait. I mean, I got my sword. I totally thought that was a card thing and just clicked through without realizing. More friends equal more sacrifices in this game. I've been trying to only sacrifice the non-Twitch people, though. Won't play Skyrim survival mode. Be sad whenever it crashes. Hopefully you don't crash. Good luck on surviving. What way did I go? Oh, okay. Oh, they're deciding my fate. I don't like the fate. Fate, 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 fate. Okay. Okay, gather anything that I can before they decide something or another. Next chest. What do we got? Ooh, a mushroom pillar. I'm actually really excited about that. That's really cool. Unfortunately, it's wood, though. What do they decide? What do you guys decide? I don't know what they decided. Smack him. Okay, big boss, big boss, big boss. No, not big boss. Not yet. Don't necessarily need stone, but we'll take the corpses. So hopefully we can revive someone. Oh, don't hurt me, please. I would like to survive. Let's get this dude. Because he definitely wants to die. Oh, I was not paying attention there. That would have been my fault. No, didn't get any more bones from that. Sad boy hours. There's so much shit. I want to get the bats because they're just annoying. Please let me smack you. Grab some more mushrooms because food is always useful. Granted, it's not why I'm here specifically, but I am here anyways. So if it's not going to give me wood, it might as well give me something useful. Ooh, the tentacles, though. I really like the tentacle one. Go this way. Money tree. Sure, I will offer you this round. Oh, okay. It gave me 20 back. All right, I mean... 30? I don't know if I trust that. I mean, I am getting... I did get like 20 coins. Fuck it, we'll try one more time. No? Golden soul and the statue is angry. Well, I don't care, statue. Yes, we're gonna go on. I got bamboozled again. Oh, hi, kitty. Welcome back. Back. No, 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 no. Everything can stay away from me. Get the mushrooms over here. Do you have another building thing? Mushroom stand. I'm liking the mushroom stuff, though. It's kind of adorable. Okay, up looks like a big bad. So I'm gonna come over here. Yes, thank you. What do we got? Sure, we will go with that one. Because I don't think I'm gonna need the double the health when healing, considering we are going into a big bad. I want this game so bad. Dude, kitty, it's so worth it. It's so worth it. 10 out of 10. Would absolutely suggest whenever you have a chance to. Oh no, they introduced multiple of the frog bitches. I mean, I have a lot of hearts. I might be able to just full send this relatively. There's so much explosion happening. Come on, buddy. Let me go after you. I still have a lot of health, and he is not even down. Whoa, whoa, buddy. Whoa, 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 whoa. Your attacks got angry as the day went on. Come on, you're so close. I should be able to chop this out. Tank it. What's up, dude? We have an option for a new follower. We will introduce them next round. I need no, wait! There was wood on the other side! That's what I get for spam clicking shit. God damn it. It literally, spam clicking has been my worst nightmare in this game. I could have had the wood I needed to put Ben in jail. Looks like we can get another Andy. We can get another bean in. Hi, is Ben still angry? Probably. No, a variant's old. A variant, we can't have you dying on us. Okay, we do have some divine inspiration going though. We have the prison. Propaganda speakers that might be useful. I do have the next level we can unlock. But you know, our people are struggling. Oh, so it's just for praying faster, I suppose. We'll unlock this one then. So that unlocks a bunch of crap I'm not ready for. Oh, are we getting an upgrade? Oh, and lady is old. Why is everyone old? I don't want anyone to be... Who's this? Shadow, why are you angry? You still like me? Shadow? Why are you mad? Did Ben die? I'm so confused. Where'd Ben go? Definitely don't have enough yet, which sucks. Wait, I'm so confused. Where did Ben go? Empty the poop thing. Shadow's angry. Oh, so many people are old. I don't want to kill them. Okay, let's have worship. I don't know where Ben is. Can we see him in here? Alright, so I can upgrade something. I think I can get to here, right? Yeah. I'm excited. We're getting into the top tiers of things. Thank God I died, now there can be peace. No, but now there's another person mad at me. I don't know why they're mad at me. I've tried to be a good king. And I don't know. Afterlife. Oh, don't spam click. Respect your elders trait. Good die young trait. Oh, lose faith if someone dies naturally? I would rather gain faith for elders than just lose faith for someone dying of natural causes. People are already about to die of natural causes. Do I have enough for that ritual though? How much do I have? I have 107. So let's go ahead and ascend someone because everyone is getting old. Lady is getting old. A variant's old. We've already had once though, right? Guess we're gonna send Lady. Because they have a higher, like, percentage, and I think we're the oldest member. Hey, Kitty, thanks for the resub. I appreciate you, cutie. Welcome back from the ad. Alright. So, that happened. Don't want to sacrifice anyone. Don't have enough wood to do that. We're gonna need 5 more things. I can marry people. I don't necessarily want to marry anyone right now. Alright, can you guys go be happy? Please?
All you people
Please.
in the house, get up and scream and shout. Say hey,
Hey. Ben. Where was Ben? Was Ben gone? Because if Ben's dead, I need to bury them. Shadow's still mad, though. Did Ben just, like, run off somewhere? I'm so confused. Not that. I want to collect your love. Thank you. Now I'll come in and I will inspire everyone. Come get expired. Shadow. I don't know why you're angry but not angry at the same time. Shadow, I don't want to put you in jail, but like literally that's all the option y'all are giving me is jail. I only have 10 of those. God damn it. Can I build another wood maker? No. Why do y'all don't like me? Alrighty, well, in other news. Let's bring someone into the cult. Follow a raffle, which means y'all can join. If anyone would like to join, there should be a pop-up happening. Almost forgot your hey? How dare you almost forget your hey, Ben? You're not a true person. Chef, welcome back, Chef. We appreciate you being here. We're doing a follower raffle. So, if anyone wants a chance, we'll give it just like a couple more minutes here because I know sometimes it's a little delayed. And hopefully our new friend will not be influenced by whoever is streaming now. I'm gonna get my Doritos out because I'm feeling snacky. Maybe I think she's still alive. Maybe. I can always revive you too. But there are other people I gotta revive too. But Chef, if you're on desktop, it should be like a little thing that pops up. If not, we can definitely get you in next round. But it'd be just a little pop-up that would be happening. If not, we will try next round because there's always plenty of more people to join. I did it. Cool. So we got 2 people, and this is the first time I've ever had it actually raffle. Chef got in. We will definitely get another person in because I'm assuming that was probably Kitty. Now you get to make your little bean. You get to choose what they look like. For Athen. Is it Athen? I just hear him yelling. Maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. I can only assume. Let's go. Now you're in the cult. What are you? On recruiting a follower, you don't like new people. And you're slower at getting sick. Just a little guy? You are just a little guy. Welcome in. We will have you do some wood. Athen. Is it Athen? No, it's Shadow. Can we inspire you? Let's inspire you guys. Y'all were just being brainwashed by someone else. We need to not brainwash. Variant's getting old. Is the beetle? I don't know where Ben is because it only says there's one angry person. Why is there so much poop over here? Who said y'all could poop so much? Is this full? No, it's not even full. Why are y'all guys pooping? What? I'm sorry, but you're glowing. That means I need to talk to you. No one's sick though. Shadow's just being Shadow. Variant Death is about to be death. I can probably collect these while I'm over here. Because really, we're just waiting for the wood to be useful. I have 13, which means in about 2 more I can build another wood thing. West failed! Wait, what did I do? What did I fail? Let's inspire you guys! Everyone come get expired! I didn't know quests had a timer on them. Oh, they'll frick the heck out of those trees. You do that. Leader, it'd be so funny if you pulled hilarious pranks on Riot. They're real picky eaters, so make them eat poop? No! I don't care if you're mad at me. I'm not making Riot eat shit. Why are you angry? Okay, you seem kind of pissed for a second. Why are you angry? I'll let you go worship. We'll let someone else garden. Chef, we'll let you go garden. Because you know you'll be chefy. Why are you so angry? Why is everyone so angry? I don't understand. Come on, let me get the things to make y'all some food. Because I wonder if that's why we're angry. Also, I don't need more people to be angry at me. Alright, let's make food. Because, you know, I would be grumpy too if I didn't have food. Let's poop. I don't think that's enough for everyone though, so I am going to make a couple of grass things, but people don't get mad at grass food. Yeah, come eat food. You got it. Yeah, see? Food. It's good for everyone. It's good for the soul. People like food. I don't know what quest I failed. I'm genuinely kind of upset that I don't know what quest I failed. I'll tend the bean farm. Tend the bean farm. Meanwhile, my body is nowhere to be found. Literally, it's not. I genuinely wish I knew where you went. No, that's not what I want to do. I want to talk to this dude. Let me talk to you. Thank you. I'm sorry you're angry. Why is everyone so angry? Can I hold another service? No, I can't. God damn it. I have to wait until tomorrow, but everything is dropping so quickly. Can I get an upgrade going? Will that help everyone? Please let me be useful. A grand shelter? What does that do? And it never collapses? Okay. I don't really need ritual cooldowns. Run decorations. Farm number 2. Okay, I like that one. We'll upgrade the farm, because that will make farming a little more automatic. Check everywhere. I feel like I have. Wait. Why are you back? Oh, you're like the last person I wanted to have back here. You're like the last person I wanted back here. God damn it. No, because it doesn't even say that there's like contamination or anything. Oh no, I want... No, can I clear that? Remove from queue. We don't want that. We do want these spiders, though. I think there's another spider over there, but I really need to get the food going because everyone actively hates me, and I'm trying my best. We're gonna have a whole-on revolt soon, and Ben's just MIA, and I don't know how to deal with that. Clear out the poop. I don't know. Make sure I have food for everyone when they wake up. I feel like that will help. One. I'm gonna have to make some more grass food. I don't like that I'm having to do the grass food, but it's what I gotta do for my people. I had to dispose of him, I'm sorry. Oh no. Oh no, oh no, no. Sacrifice them. Wrong person came back. Yeah, it was the turtle dude. The turtle dude wasn't a follower person. It was just a random NPC. But we might have to ascend them. Okay, hold on, hold on. I know it's morning, hold on. Let me hold a ritual. It'll be good. Y'all will like me again, I promise. It means I can't revive anyone right now because everyone's pissed at me. Can we be happy again? A little bit? God damn it. It will make you guys happy at me. That will bring it up a lot. That will bring it down. I can marry someone, so that's 30. I would. Here, we'll hold a little bonfire. We will make you guys happy again. Yes, grass tube. Buttermilk long clippings. I tried my best, okay? I tried my best. And then the magical farm in the side. Very tired, but I'm working on preparing my comeback. Make sure you get rest, Riot. Make sure you get rest. See, y'all like me again? Yeah? Yeah? Shadow. I don't want to have to kill you. But, like, the re-educating, I don't think it's working. Flowers from Darkwood. Do I have to go back to Darkwood for that? Can I make... Speaking of wood, can I even make the other thing yet? No, I was close. God damn it. I'm so close, but so far away to being able to make... Someone's sick! Also, Riot, why are you shitting over there? Clean up Riot shit. Who's sick? Who's sleep? Oh, does that mean someone doesn't have a home? Actually, I could probably come over here and just fast heal you. Invisibeetle, why are you tired? Did you not get sleep? Go sleep. Do we just not have a bed for you? Is that our issue? God damn it. I'm not ready. I'm not ready to not have beds going. Liren, give me some love. I'm kind of providing natural fertilizer, but you see, there is literally... Oh, the outhouse is full again. Got it. Outhouse is no longer full. I say, because there was, at least before I went down there, there was space for peoples. Oh, thank God there are more trees to cut down. Even bees working on it. I can do this one. I think I should probably make a second outhouse as the farm keeps going. Or I can finish cutting this down because even me got distracted. Okay. Hey, what are you doing? Why are you angry? Why is everyone angry over here? Can you guys not be angry? We'll upgrade that house. This still leaves me with only 6 wood, and that makes me nervous. No, I don't want to talk to you. I just want to give you fertilizer and things. Get those planted, get those. Get all that going, give you more seeds. Everyone kind of likes me again. I don't necessarily have food, which is something that's making me a wee bit nervous. Variant, you're also making me nervous. Everyone who's old is making me nervous. Don't get old. Why are you pooping over here? Stop pooping. Okay, I suppose we can film more of that. Can I turn the mushrooms into actual food, or am I just wasting my own time this way? We're gonna make some more grass food. Because y'all need at least something to eat. Shadow, can you stop? If it was anyone else except Shadow, I would kill them. Oh, hey, there's mushrooms back here. Did you guys just eat all of the grass food that I just provided? Leave some of it around. I have so much grass, though. I've just been avoiding doing the grass meals. But if it's what you guys need, it's what you need. Alright. Who's sick? Who just got sick? Someone just get sick? Or did someone just die? Wait. God, the outhouse just got ridiculously full. But that's still not all the way. Is someone shitting over here? I'm so confused. I just want everyone to be healthy and happy. And y'all are choosing to actively not. Shadow. Josh. I don't even know, I don't even know, I don't even know, I don't even know. Why is it not sanitary right now? Let me... You. We're gonna put you on custodial duty. Because apparently something is wrong. You. There we go, I think I found what we were just looking for. Make sure everything is fertilized before I go. At least the best of my knowledge. Do I have enough for another wood thing? Because, like, really, that would be the most useful thing I could do while I'm gone. Still need, like, 4 more. I don't know if cutting down baby trees actually does anything for me either. I feel like my person is faced out dead in a ditch. I really don't know. Either that or maybe you, like, ran off somewhere. I don't know, because you were mad. You were very mad. I'm resting from face. I'm actually thinking about wholesome things. Right, your daughter asked you. I'm tucking her to bed. I'm gonna do night-night, sweetheart, and I'll see you in the morning. My daughter good night. Gives me a big hug. Yes, that's adorable, though. You wanted to lock me up, you're not saying the same for Shadow. That's why I'm on the grind for wood. I need wood so I can lock up you traitors. It's why I'm so pressed about wood. I should probably go bless some people. That's probably why we're losing devotion. Hey, buddies. Let me entice you. Yeah, see? I don't care if you just got pissed I interrupted you. I'm trying to inspire you. Inspire. Anyone over here who would like to be inspired? Ooh, that was a couple. Ooh, 15. Okay. So if I have 15 wood, that's not what I'm trying to go for. We can set up another wood thing while I do another dungeon crawl. And hopefully come back and have enough to put people up. Also, why? Do I really? I do totally need to build another outhouse. It keeps getting so full. Maybe stay through the night so I can do another sermon in the morning. No, or I could just grind out through the night. Our devotion is relatively up there. We still have one person mad. Yeah, let's go ahead and go before nightfall hits. So we gotta go to the Darkwood. I think this is Darkwood, right? Yeah. We gotta get flowers for someone before they get mad at me again. If you wanted me to check for monsters on the bed, I just said it'd be very unlikely if a monster got me, depending on tone. Slowly looking under the bed. Rip my stupid tail off or bite me in the neck. Cat ran out under the bed. I love that. That's adorable. Oh, I didn't mean to deny that. Wait. God damn it. That was not meant to be denied. I clicked the wrong thing. How do I undo that? Wait, oh my gosh. What, how do I undo that? Is there a way I can fix that? Oh, I don't know if I can undo that. So now Bite Me just doesn't do it? I mean, I guess it would work for me because I'm the server person. Oh no. Right side, a chef got 500 points back. When you hit deny, there's no changing it. That's dumb. Like, can you guys say Bite Me? Like, it was specifically Bite Me that it was highlighted. Which, like, I didn't mean to unclick that. Can I go into, like, mod setting, maybe? I don't know. I don't know, I hate that. I'm sorry. But no, I did read your message. It's kind of funny that the cat ran out at that time, but hopefully... I don't know why it did that. I hate everything. No, because I meant to click accept, and then my hand moved over to the wrong side, and that's... Auto mod is sometimes a pain, but sometimes it helps too. Let's go. That was a lot. I knew the cat was under there, but he didn't. God, that would have sent him through a trip too. Holy cow. There's some flowers though. There's only one flower? Okay, because I got a seed too. Got it. Oh, I hate that I'm losing hearts so fast because I don't know how to dodge right now. Like, auto mod is great until it's not great, and then it's just annoying. because it's auto mod. Alright, gotta go back. Ooh. Receive double hearts. Ooh, yes, 10% chance of just getting hearts. That would be great. Now we go back it up. Oh, fuck. God damn it. Forgot that those guys were just extremely annoying. Jesus Christ, these bats. They are not friendly. Like, literally, it's almost every hit that they get on me, I fucking end up bodying. Don't want to body the bats. In fact, the opposite of what I want to do. New card? Let's go. The Google says after a few days, distressors may steal money from the cult and run away. Never be seen again. And I don't want to not see Ben again. Oh my gosh, there's wood over there. Thank God. We just didn't get you jailed in time, which makes me really sad. Wonder if I can bring you back. I don't know. I hope I can bring you back. That makes me nervous. I don't want Ben to just be gone. I would have killed you if I knew you were just gonna be gone. Because then I could have brought you back as a happy Ben. You seem angry. What's this about? Travel? To where? Where are we traveling to? Oh, just to the end? Oh, shit. Well, you see, I was kind of hoping to dungeon crawl a little more. Leashy's angry. Collect what I can from over here. What you got, Leashy? I only have like a heart and a half though, so this is not gonna be a fun time. I'm already at a half heart though. Got some more. The side guy is gone. Okay, we're about halfway there. That should damage everyone just a little bit. There's so many things on the screen. So many dudes. I don't like whatever that power just was. But we're so close to dead. We're so close. We're so close. There we go. We got him down. And that means everything else dies with it. Oh, little hedgehog dude. Adorable. Can I not mutilate the corpse? Anyways, I can at least gather the bones along the side. $30 wood, that means we're gonna get the jail thing done. I'm excited. That means they will not be angry anymore. That means we can talk to a variant again. Hey, variant. You're not gonna like me, but we're about to build a jail for you. It's gonna be right by the gravesite, so you can, remember what's going on with your life. We should probably hold a sermon after they build that, but I want to make sure it gets built first. God, everyone is old. And we didn't even... Wait, did we find a new person that round? No, we did not find a new person. But our happiness is up, so we could definitely revive someone. Alright, so jail is up. Freaking... Who's mad? The variant, right? No, it wasn't a variant. Oh, is a variant not mad because he's old now? Shit, okay. We don't have to get rid of anyone. Everyone's happy. Alright. If everyone's happy, then we're gonna piss some people off and revive someone, because a lot of people are getting old. And I feel like we need to fix that. Can we also ascend someone? Ooh, upgrades. Merciless weapon. Alright, we're getting there. So then we also, I think, have, yep, a crown upgrade. Which everything's at 3. Do the hunger one. These ready for harvest. Or special fish. I mean, both of them work. But I feel like I'm growing food relatively consistently. So we'll do the special fish. Oh, my character dies. He ran away like a nerd. Oh, and it causes everything to go up. Cool. So then from here, we'll perform our ritual. And bring someone back from the dead. Yeah, because we have a lot of old people in the call right now. We got Athens, we got Fetty, which Fetty isn't a real person. We got Fearless Coconut, who died immediately. But I think that's in the order of people died. I think we brought back Fearless once already. So we're gonna grab Athens. Yeah, we'll bring Athens back. So Ben, you were not in an option there. We can sacrifice someone. We also don't have enough money for that. I probably need to do a famine at some point to catch up on food, but we're good for now. Sorry you guys don't like me bringing people back, but we got a lot of old people though. If I can do one of the sermons to ascend someone, I feel like that'd be a really good bet. Also, how much wood do we have going? Can I upgrade farm things? Also, no one's angry. I love that no one's angry as soon as we build the jail. It's an active problem. Variant. Let's inspire you. People are hungry though. I need to make some real foods for peeps. As much as I can. And then we'll make grass. Because that's really all I can do, is offer some grass. Eat all the foods, eat all the foods. Cool. Ooh, you know what we could do? We could set up that expedition thing and send some of the people that I don't like as much on expeditions. Wait, I don't even think I have that though. We do need 10 wood planks and I only have 2 of those. I need a lot of the wood planks. So we'll go ahead and make another farmy do. Have everyone working on those. Probably should make another stone one here soon too. Just because Because I have a bad feeling, oh, we need money for that. But that's fine, because then you come over here and can donate a couple of different things for Mons. Brings us up to 35. Oh, you guys have a thing for me. Wood. Food works too. Food works too. Heck yeah. Oh, that was a lot of food. Hold up. Also, someone's sick. Or at least someone got sick. But that was a lot of food. I'm cool with a lot of food. That will make you guys happy. More good food, more good food. Yeah, when you guys wake up, there will be foods. And it's because of you guys that you got good foods. Also, and because of these spiders that I can casually hunt down at night and feed to everyone. I'm surprised y'all don't say anything about that. You're cool with, like, everything else except... Like, you're cool with spider meat, but you're not cool with, like, anything else. Everyone has beds. We have actually room for 2 more beds. So I will probably consider... Okay, Platinum. You're just having a midnight snack. Okay, goodbye. Go to sleep. Okay, cool. Okay. Is everyone happy? Everyone has food. I can hold a sermon in the morning. We can collect food while it's nighttime. I'm happy that I topped off the totem. We eating good tonight? Thank you, Ben. Even though, hopefully we can get you a new character in. Cause, like, you're just gone? Unless you're gonna come back with, like, a whole protest later? I don't know. I miss you, Ben. I wish I could allow you to come back. But if I had the choice, you know I would. Okay, what else can I build? I was gonna build another stone thing. Yeah. So we'll have more resources going in the morning. I don't have any more money, but that's fine. Probably can make some more food so everyone's happy. No, not that. Anything but poop. It's like the one thing I am making sure I don't feed you guys unless you specifically ask for a meal made of poop. But there'll be plenty of food while I go on a grind. Be things growing while I'm on the grind. Oh shit, things are ready already. Collect some things before I go. Ooh, there's gonna be a lot. Oh, why are we going this way? What's we doing over here? What are we doing? You guys not gonna go build things? Or are you gonna go poop? If you're gonna go poop, then let me casually... No. Yeah, while y'all are in line for pooping, let me... Never mind. I guess I took money from them instead of inspiring them like I initially wanted to. I'm so confused on the control sometimes. I've had Tarantula, it wasn't bad. I've had Cricket before, it wasn't hateful. I don't know about Tarantula though. Yeah, 181 points. All my points went to the totem. Oh. Let me go first might be a while. Oh. Sounds like my man. Like literally we ask each other, we're like, do you have to pee or anything before I go take a shit? That ready? No. We can definitely get some more food items in here once everything's planted. Wait, someone's angry? Or someone's sick? Who's angry or who's sick? Why is someone angry or sick? Who's angry or sick? Did y'all fill up the toilet already? No, you're sick. Riot. So we gotta heal Riot. We also gotta go do more flowers. So let's get Riot in. There you go. Happy, healthy Riot. Get that going. Let's hold the sermon. I hear a couple of people being angsty out there. Left my phone in the room and went to the bathroom. But every shampoo bottle, daily crosswords at mom's house. Yikes. That's, you know you're bored when you're doing that. Can't revive anyone yet. Don't want to sacrifice anyone yet. I would rather ascend an old person than sacrifice someone. Hopefully all that can be worked on while I'm gone. Also, hopefully by the time I get back, things will be good. But we have that timed quest is going down, and I don't want to lose a bunch of devotion by not finishing a timed quest in time. One of those 90s crabs. Ooh, big battle axe. Ooh, is your distance bigger? I'm about it. Alright. We're swinging through things a little quicker here. I don't want to do anything I don't need to. I think that's been my issue while dungeon crawling is I've gone... This is a bunch of directions. Cool. I don't know what direction I need to go, so I'm gonna go ahead and just head right first. Cool, right was the right move. 10% chance of critical hit or a heart. I'm gonna go just with the critical hit. So then we'll go left. Left was a move. Cool, you gave me coins. So what was up top? I've never seen a four-way like that. Oh, it's a sneak attack. That's fine. I can use the bones. I can use those flowers that were around. Flowers and bones. Flowers and bones. I will happily take all of them. Especially the flowers. Alright. Give me a card. Ooh, better chest spawn? Heck yeah. So there's wood, there's a person. Yeah, I think I'll just take the straight path. Because, like, the wood will be very useful no matter what aspect we look at it. Wait, someone did something? Oh, did someone die? No, that means I have to get back quickly, but I also need the flowers. Little hat reminds me of Gorgle Sand from Gravity Falls. Dude, I was thinking that the other day. We're gonna save this person from death. And then we can get another person in our cult. Come on, buddy. Let me smack some grass while I'm over here, because the grass has been coming in absolute clutch. Come on. Alright. Alright. I don't necessarily like that rate of fire for that one. Hey, buddy. We're gonna save you. I promise. We're good guys. Rescue. Cool. Smack some of this crap because I know at least the campfire will hold some good things. Another attacking mode. And then we are clear to fight. The teleporter that goes straight through. No, I need more. Oh, I guess I didn't need more flowers. God damn it. I could have just ended it there. Get bones, get money, get health. Unless I could die. Dying is also a valid answer. I'm not gonna intentionally die, but if it happens, I'm also not mad at it. Another card. We went down to have heart. Yo, super hot. Alright, we got more flowers though, so if I do happen to die or anything, then we will be... we'll have enough flowers. Don't remember who I need to give the flowers to is the real thing. That's so many bodies I just made right there. Just gotta get back before morning because people are dead at home. I definitely like the explosion better. Get that. Because that will also help us heal anyone that might be sick. What card are we getting? Overall weapon damage increase? Fuck yeah. Wait. Right, I fixed it. Ooh, let's go. I was really confused, but then I saw what you did. So heck yeah. Heck yeah, Riot. Riot doing good mod things. Another card. Oh yeah, because I only have a heart and a half going into the final battle. Because I can teleport into it now and just get it done and over with. Alright, buddy. Let's go round. Emerging drama? Okay. Drama's never fun. I've actually unfollowed quite a few of the streamers I used to like a lot because of drama. Come on, buddy. We're gonna go rounds. It's gonna be okay. Because I'm gonna win. Because I'm a little lamby boy. Oh, I do not have any of the power for that, but it's fine, because I should be able to just tank through this real quick. I say that as I just get absolutely hit by everything in its path. But Leafy is like a 2-hit. Fuck yeah. The short version is person from podcast term blocked. Like, not to be niche. Wait, like not to be nice to and hugs his now ex-partner passionately against their will and leave it at that. Ah, no. We do not like people who do anything like that. Be respectful to your partners. If they say no, you don't do it. That's all there is. Get some more bones. Then we still have most of the day with our cult if I run back really quick. And we got a new person. So they ended up on the blunt side of the hammer. Ah. We love you watching out and taking precautions, though. Oh, there's totally a dead person. Let's get you wrapped up. Who is this? I don't remember who that was. I think that was a variant. That's fine. We'll get a variant buried. And then if anyone revives anyone, it should be, yeah, a variant. A variant is now buried. Seems like people are relatively happy right now, though. So that's always a good thing that we got going. We got plenty of stone. Let's get some of this wood crafted now that we have a lot of it. Now that we have a lot of stone. I should have been grinding that out a little bit better. Alright, go ahead and take that from you. Me fertilize everything. I cannot wait until the farm is automatic. We should be able to do that soon, though. The automatic farming. Chop, chop, chop. Like, even with the fertilizer and stuff, now that I actually have wood going, that's gonna be our biggest thing. I'm running out of pumpkins, though. I don't like that I'm out of pumpkins. We have all that. We have all that. The farm needs 10 of those. We're working on that. That needs also that. That also needs that. Yikes. Okay. We only have 32 wood, though, so let me casually make another wood thing. Also, someone pooped over here. How dare you poop? Guess that means we should probably make a second outhouse. Because that one gets full so quickly. And people don't know how to deal with their poop being around. Oh, hey, what's up, dude? Collect you. I just gotta hold a sermon and stuff before the end of the day. Oh, wait, we have a divine inspiration. So then we can get a bunch more stuff up here, but at the same time, I feel like the missionary would be cool. But we can send them to just find shit. Ooh, and that one finds seeds. Okay, so we're definitely building missionary. Where did that go? That'd be under faith. It would be under faith. So it's 20 wood. We don't quite have that yet, but we're working there. There's also another shrine that we can build that I forgot about. But I might have the wood after we come through and collect some. Yeah, I have 21 now. So I think we might be able to build that, send some people out on adventures. I don't necessarily want to do anything else for that. Faith. We'll set you up into the corner here for sending people away. Do that. While everyone's gathering over here, we can enlighten some people. It'll be a good time. Then we can get this dude invited to town, which will also be a good time. Actually, you go over that way. Interact. Inspire. Everyone get inspired. There we go. I don't know why devotion just went down. Nar. Where's Nar? Nar? Who is Nar? Is this Nar? That's Patty. Oh, there we go. We can complete quests now. Thank you, leader. Just work up the courage to talk to them. Ethan! We'll talk to you too. Alright, so everyone's happy again. We just need some food going. Which will probably be our time to upgrade soon. We just need more wood, which we have a bunch of wood things going. Definitely should probably make our people fast soon because I am running out of things to plant. Either that or can we bring someone in now? Let me do my crown thing. Okay, when you're off stream, I must send you something. Hecky. We'll instruct some obedience on here. All born guilty reduced faith loss when putting followers in jail who are not dissenting. I mean, everyone's, if we put in jail, is going to be dissenting. Okay. We'll gain faith every day without someone in prison. But that doesn't mean it goes down if someone is in prison. So y'all will like me more. Then we can do another ritual. We still got a little while on that one. But we can put some fasting going so we can save up some food so you guys don't starve. Sorry you're mad, but it's okay. Because now we'll perform the sermon and bring up some things again. And then we'll invite another dude in. I have to unlock 2 more to even get to that. Alright, well, we're slowly gonna upgrade. Now you guys go have a wonderful day. Next time we come in, we will revive someone. Alright, what's up, new person? Let's do a follower raffle. I'm gonna fill up my water, and then we'll come back and end the raffle, but I need a drink. Alrighty, we have more watcher now. And somebody is in. Hey, raffle. Kitty cat. Welcome in, kitty. You're a cutie. The seal on that so I'm not losing. Oh no. Well, Riot just vented away. I guess that's more corpse than Riot, but either way. The Black Among Us being is Riot in our stream. You a blue bunny. Why am I not surprised? You're still a cutie though. What do you have? You don't like sacrifices, and you ignore distressors. Yes, kitty cat's loyal. Welcome in, kitty. You Mojave Farm. I feel like that'd be cute for you. Ladylike cat, welcome in. Thanks for the follow. Alright, so we got that going, we got that going. People are slightly upsetty spaghetti, but it's fine. Yeah. Oh yeah, what do we need for another outhouse? I feel like that'll be useful. I don't necessarily want to go for it yet, but I feel like it'll be useful. Ooh, and that means a lot of people will be coming over here to build. Yes, everyone come over. And collect your things. Your building's gonna take a minute. There's only like 4 people over here. So we will go ahead and interact. Oh, we've already inspired you today. Oh yeah, because we were building at the beginning of the day. Okay. Does this mean we have one house open? That's good to know. No one's sick. No one needs food. The nighttime's about to hit. There we go. Which means we should, in theory, be able to... Oh, fuck yeah, spiders. I keep forgetting that the spiders spawn at night. I'm always like, what do I need to do with this at nighttime? Let's collect the spiders, because spiders give us food for our peoples. There you are. It's like there's always more than one around. We can collect any food we need. We can especially fertilize any food that we haven't, because that's been like my biggest thing is I haven't been around to fertilize and we don't have that thing up yet. Fertilize what we can, take what we can. There we go. There's only a couple of things that were ready, but I know come morning time, that doesn't mean crap. There's more spiders around. Run around and see if we can find any more. Oh, but we can send someone on a quest. I forgot about that. I'm actually really excited about being able to send someone on a quest. Spider. Spider, spider, spider. Thank you. We can fill the seed thing. Seeds are fun. Is there anything else I need to do before morning? I don't think so. I respect your elders. No one in jail. Things are going up. What's up, guys? They just can donate money at the altar. Tell me why I never knew that. I didn't know I could just, you know, have money. Oh, there are two really old people. If I can ascend? Can I bring someone back yet? No, we can't even ascend yet. But I think we will just wait. We'll try to ascend someone when we can, and then immediately after ascending someone, we will bring them back. Did they just donate again? They did! I could have been making so much money without realizing. Would you like to... You're not gonna give me the option. Hold on. I'm gonna send you on a quest. Oh, can I not? Sparkles is some... Oh no, there they are. Nar. You had your chance at living. We'll send you after lumber. Can I send more than one person out at once? Bye. Have a wonderful time. No, I can only send one person at a time, but that's fine. They might be coming back with more wood, which is something that we desperately need. Even though I have like 4 wood things going. We just don't use as much stone as we do wood. We have our sermon going. People aren't very inspired, which is disheartening. Let me inspire you. I've been a very merciless leader. Got the totem going. We have that going. I don't know if I necessarily need to bring anyone back in.